Hey everyone, how's it going? I just decided I'm going to make a quick video today because I'm getting a lot of questions about why my 360 is on an older dash and how I'm able to do it. I'm just going to log in so you can see what this entails. If you're on an RGH or JTAG 360, you can use a stealth server and set your console up to boot into the dashboard. You can see the stealth server I have has like old tabs for the video and music marketplace. Inside Xbox doesn't have anything, but like you can see like they have some of the stuff visible. First things first, you need a JTAG or an RGH for this. There are ways to get consoles on these dashboards, but you have to actually obtain a console that is on that dashboard. There's like people like Jacob R on YouTube, which has like his own shop where he flips untested consoles, and you might be able to check him and see if there's any old dashboards. A lot of people kind of seem to be doing this thing now where they buy lots of old 360s that were untested just to see if they could get like an NXE or Blades Dash, and you could get one of those if you want a retail console that is an old dashboard. You could also get a zero fuse CPU console, which will allow you to downgrade. And you could also use a zero fuse to JTAG without needing soldering skills. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into this. So I'm going to provide some of the files in the description for the dashboards that I'm going to be able to show off. To be able to connect to Xbox Live like I am, you're going to need to either get xbguard off their website, which I'll put in the description, or PROTO Stealther, which also they have a Discord. I'll put that in the description. PROTO Stealther Discord also provides the same exact files that I'm going to be re-uploading, so you can check the hashes and like make sure I'm not putting something on your console. First things first is you're going to download the dashboard files that I put in the description, and you're going to have to put them onto your console either through a flash drive or Neighborhood. I used Neighborhood, so it was just real easy. I just made a folder in XEX menu, the dashboards, and loaded them onto that. You should know how to do this if you've ever copied an item onto your JTAG. If you don't know how to copy stuff in XEX menu, you put your flash drive into the console and then press right bumper off of Games Discovery, and it will show you your files if you use left and right on D-pad. So you get a USB, you can press Y on the folder and hit copy, and then D-pad over, and then Y again, and just paste it onto HDD1. When you do that, you should have a dashboards folder on HDD1, and then you go into that, and you should see 13604 dashboard, 1617 blades, and what I use is 9199 NXE Dark. I use at the NXE dashboard because I have games ripped to my drive that are games on demand GOD format, and the Blades dashboard cannot use those games because GOD did not exist for Blades. So if you have games installed to your console that are GOD format and you're using Blades and you can't find them, it's because they're GOD games. I don't think there's a method at the moment to actually get them to show in Blades. When you do that, if you want to have your console boot directly into one of the dashboards, you're going to have to go into your dash launch if you have dash launch, and then you go into dash launch, and then installer, and then default XEX. And then once you're in here, you're going to go into paths, and then go down to default, and then navigate to your hard drive. Going to go into your dashboards folder, and then choose which dashboard you want. I'll actually load all these up so that you can see at the end of the video which is which. And then you select the dash you want, and then go to dash.xex and have that set as your default. Then you can close out of paths and go over to save/load LAUNCH.INI by pressing right bumper, and then go down to HDD and press X to save your launch.ini file. If you also have to load one of the stealthers, either Proto or xbguard, you go down to plugins. I have it set to plugin 2, but you just go to whatever plugin slot you've opened, and then we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the hard drive and scroll down until you see the stealth server, and then just select it. And then you can go back and save it onto your hard drive. And then that should be good to go. Either Proto or xbguard will let you connect. I'm not sure if Teapot or any of the other ones have support for these dashboards. But once you have the default set and your stealth server set, restart the console, and it will take a little bit to boot your first time around, but eventually you'll get in, and Proto and xbguard both have indicators. As soon as the console boots into the dashboard, that will let you know your stealth server has been loaded, which will then allow you to be able to go and just sign into your profile. xbguard, at the very moment I'm recording, is in free mode, so you get full access, which will allow you to do an extra step to this, which I have my guide colors also set to what it was back in NXE. These colors are wrong and it is harder to read. If you're going to be using xbguard, you can change your guide to kind of match NXE by going over to xbguard menu, and then over to user interface, open UI share, and I'm going to upload this UI right now to the UI share, so you're going to have to look for this. So I'm going to upload this as 9199 NXE guide. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for 9199 NXE guide under user interface UI share, and that should put the colors that I had. If not, so I'm going to go down and just scroll through these colors for the stuff that I've set, and you can just copy what is showing on the right side of the screen for the red, green, and blue values. So for HUD Blade, your red, green, and blue is going to be 183, 196, 199. And then for Focused Blade, you're going to do red 35, green 47, blue 54. HUD Scroller is going to be red 142, green 191, blue 52. HUD background is going to be red 43, green 59, blue 72, and then user information, I just leave that white. And notify, you can set that to the color of the scroller, and it should match about right, and that will set you up with the guide for NXE. Keep in mind, this is the new guide. You can't replace the guide to an older version. It's about as accurate as I think I can make it, and now I'm just gonna go through and open the dashboards that I'm providing you just so you can see what is what. You could do this yourself to test out and see which ones function the way you want it to by just going into the dashboards folder, running the dash.xex file that's in it. You can just do this without changing your default. So I'm going to open 136.04. People generally don't know what this dash is, so I figure I might as well show it off. It's pretty much actually just an NXE dashboard, but with a lot lighter colors. This is supported by Proto, and apparently it works with xbguard as well. So if you're on xbguard, you can also use 136.04. As you can see, all the tiles are about the same. They're just kind of frozen in time, but let's go over to settings just so you can see how settings looked. Real simple, kind of just is the same as what it is now. It's just that the scroller is a little darker. This is what the customization looks like. Alright, so my console did crash on 136.04, so there might be some instability with some of the dashboards doing some very specific things. That's just how it is on an RGH. You're gonna crash hella and you just accept it. You're like, damn, I gotta turn this thing on and off again. Okay. Yeah, that was 136.04. Now this is 9199 NXE, which is pretty stable. I've used this a lot. I don't really have any issues with it. You can see the system settings. I already went through and scrolled through the marketplace and everything whenever I was logged in, so you know what that looks like. I'm going to go over to Blades, which is probably what everyone's going to set as their first one. Keep in mind, like I said before, Blades cannot load God format games, so they're not going to appear in your game library. And here's Blades, so this is the OG, the one that everybody's fiending for whenever they're looking for old consoles. You can just put this shit on your RGH. I'm going to log in just to show that you can log in whenever you have Proto/xbguard. There are things that won't appear in Blades. Like if I hit friends, it's going to open the Xbox guide. The marketplace doesn't work on the old dashboards. It only works on xbguard if you are on the actual dashboard that your console is using. I think it's 17.559. Yeah, this is Blades. You can go over to Games Library, My Games, and see your games that are arcade/demos. Like I said, your games on demand are not going to load, so you're going to have to go into either XEX menu and use Aurora to load them, or go back to your kernel, which I'll do in a second. Alright. So lo and behold, Blades also crashed my console whenever I backed out of the games. So this is a really unstable way to use your 360. The most stable one I've used is 9199. There's also the media tab. I've never done anything with the media on the 360, so I'm unsure how stable this is. But then here's a system tab. You can see you can go into your storage devices and look at everything. You can also change the settings for the dashboard. I'm not exactly sure if it screws anything up, but you do have the option. What if you want to go back to the actual dashboard of your system? What you're going to do is you're going to go to your guide, scroll over, and hit System Settings. I think you actually have to go into a game to do this, so I'm just going to launch something. Marble Blast. I love Marble Blast. I'm going to open that shit. I'm going to be stressing to keep doing the tutorial after opening this game, but if you want to get back to the straight normal dashboard of the 360, you go to your guide, and then you go over to System Settings and back out to System Settings. And then this is going to load you back to the actual dashboard of your system, because you can't get rid of this dashboard. You just can't do it. You can't go backwards unless you're on a zero fuse console. That's pretty much it for the tutorial. It's real simple stuff. I know I didn't really show you how to move the files around, but if people really don't know how to do it, I'll make a tutorial on getting Neighborhood or using a flash drive. I guess I gotta do that eventually, but with that, I'm peacing out.
George, sir.